Who the hell points at a sign like that to name their daughter? Who the hell wears something like that in 2004? Now, firstly, I am exceptionally aware that Russell T Davies is known for how he does his finales. And you know, what I mean by that is destroying the world, raising the stakes, and then everything is then reversed near the ending. We saw that in Doomsday, for example, where the Daleks and the Cybermen were basically going to be destroying the world, and then we saw them getting sucked back in. The thing about Doomsday compared to the Empire of Death is that with Doomsday there were consequences to the actions of that episode, with the 10th Doctor losing Rose because Rose also got sucked in to the parallel universe alongside the Cybermen and the Daleks. So they were on the other side now, and the Doctor lost Rose in that case. In this case, in the Empire of Death, there was basically no consequences from the actions of Sutekh, and whilst, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, yes, this could prop up to have future problems in the future, the direct consequences in terms of losing people, there was absolutely nothing. And the way that everybody was killed within the first 10-15 minutes of the episode sort of ruined any sort of suspense that we had collected from the legend of Ruby Sunday, because we knew it was all going to be for nothing, and it generally was. And then there's the Mrs. Flood situation. And the thing that Russell T Davies has said, you have to wait to see who Mrs. Flood is. I basically lost trust, because I understand that teasing the fandom, a fandom that is known for getting carried away with itself, is fine. But to not just tease outside of the show, but also inside the show, for it to lead to nothing, moves beyond teasing and more into downright lying and lazy storytelling. And this has basically made me think, thinking about it deeper, that I don't think Russell T Davies coming back was ever a good idea. I don't think bringing back a former showrunner was ever a good idea. Now, I was never fully for the idea, but I wasn't fully against it. And I've been a massive fan of season 1. Absolutely love it. The pure clockwork of how the show runs and how it is and how it's moving forward. It isn't truly moving forward because we're going back to the times of 2008. Russell T Davies is a very, very good writer. I just think he has outdone himself with Doctor Who, and not that he's run out of ideas, more that he's just kind of grown stale to the things that he does, and he's shown that he is not willing to try new things. So we're just going to go back to what he did. And what he did was technically massively successful because of the show's ratings, because of just how big Doctor Who was back then. That's also due to the fact that the characters that we had were very, very loved. So for example, again in the finale with the Master, when he made everyone in the world the Master, when he made everyone in the world himself, the consequences were that it messed up the Master, which ended to him dying, however you want to look at it, even though it all got reversed. And I think we're starting to see that again, and if this happens again in Series 2 or Series 3, it really is going to piss off a lot of people, including myself, where we're not really moving forward. The show is going back to what it used to do, but reusing the same thing that worked will not start to work, and people are going to stop watching the show. It just makes the whole idea of Doctor Who have a negative impact when the showrunner is doing these type of things. Broken promises, overdoing on his promises, overdoing on the expectations, and it leads to a lot of underwhelmed and disappointed, and some people, that's it, I've had enough of watching the show. I am not one of them people, but it annoys me. So I think it's made me realise that we do need a brand new showrunner, and I know RTD is here, I have to accept that, he's at least going to be here for a little bit longer, but the showrunner we get after that has to be someone completely different, someone with fresh ideas, does storytelling in a different way, because now I'm starting to get a bit frustrated with mystery boxes. I'm not really caring about Mrs. Flood as much as I was at the start because of the way other things have been resolved. I'm like, is it just going to be a repeat where, you know what, it isn't going to be that big of a deal. She's probably just an ordinary person, or she's a god of some sort. Who knows? But let me know what you think. Do you think that Russell T Davies has outgrown himself on Doctor Who to the point where he's starting to sort of go backwards and having negative impacts from his writing onto the show? If you're new to the channel, like to subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic, and give this video a like, and I'll see you all soon.